Sometimes people think they're raising awareness when they speak, but really they're just cleverly manipulating words to serve their own agendas. Now, someone who might be triggered by anything that I say here would probably assume the same about me, but here's where I get to lay my cards on the table. Language is one of the most powerful tools humanity has ever created. It's the bridge between feeling and understanding. It's between chaos and clarity. And yet for so many of us, it's an underutilized gift. Collective avoidance has been a template that trains us to suppress our emotions and silence our inner worlds, making it difficult to connect with the very thing that could set us free, that can set us free: words. When people don't use their words to process emotions, they trap themselves in a loop of suppression, obsession, addictions, and disconnect. Many of us don't grow up in environments that encourage emotional expression. Instead, we were taught that emotions, particularly the vulnerable ones, were best left unspoken. And this kind of silence breeds avoidance. And avoidance thrives on suppression and control, and language has been one of its most effective instruments. Take the English language, for example. It is arguably the most manipulated form of communication in our modern world. Words are riddled with complexities. Some look the same but mean entirely different things. Some sound the same but have no connection to each other. Some have multiple meanings, leaving room for confusion and misinterpretation. This linguistic chaos turns communication into an intellectualized maze of semantics. In other words, what people say can easily distort what they mean. What's even more complicated is that if vocabulary is limited, it narrows the scope of what can be said at all. This manipulation of language is not accidental. A lack of emotional clarity and expressive vocabulary keeps you disconnected, not just from others, but from yourself. If you can't accurately name what you feel, how can you process it? How can you coherently communicate it? Self-avoidance depends on this disconnect because it reinforces the idea that we're only logical beings who don't need emotions or nuanced expressions to navigate the world. So even if you do have an expansive vocabulary but are disconnected from your emotional center, the words won't land in a practical way. It'll remain abstract. But this avoidance doesn't just leave you silent. It leaves you frustrated, misunderstood, and unable to engage deeply with yourself and with others. As a result, the information you consume and create through the news, music, sports, entertainment reflects this. Recognizing how language has been manipulated and how your relationship with it has been shaped by collective avoidance is the first step toward reclaiming it. Expanding your vocabulary and articulating your emotions isn't just for communication, it's for your personal liberation. It's for freeing your heart, your mind, and your body from the constraints of a systemic pattern that benefits from your silence. Here's a major tip that is usually exclusive to my private clients, but since I'm feeling a little generous, here goes. And you may want to take some notes with this. Next time you're struggling to describe what you're feeling, try this exercise. Write down a single word that comes to mind. A word like angry or upset. Then look up synonyms or related words and see if they land more deeply. For example, does angry feel more like irritated, resentful, betrayed? If so, the next question is, how does this emotion feel in the body? Emotions are physical experiences. Please stop segregating emotions from feelings. They're one and the same. Emotions live in your body as sensations. And unless you tune into those sensations, you'll miss the deeper understanding of what you are actually feeling. Please catch that. Saying I'm angry is a start, but it's only the tip of the iceberg. The deeper work lies in identifying how anger feels. Anger, for example, might feel like uneasy and discomfort in your stomach, achy tension in your chest or your shoulders, shaky hands and legs, hot or cold sensations moving through your body, dizzy or off balance in your head. By connecting these physical sensations, you begin to ground the emotion in your body. This makes it tangible, something you can understand and work with, rather than some abstract concept floating around in your head. When you stay at the surface with intellectualized words like angry, frustrated, or even as simple as bad, you miss the chance to fully process what's happening to you. But when you dive into the physical sensations, you gain clarity, and clarity gives you the power to respond rather than react. So the next time that you feel angry, pause and ask yourself, where do I feel it in my body? Does it feel tight, hot, shaky, uneasy, heavy? Those are the words that you use. What is my body telling me about this emotion, this sensation? For instance, if you notice tension in your chest and heat rising in your face, that's anger showing up physically. By identifying these sensations, you can start to understand what your body needs in the moment. Maybe you need to take a breath, or go for a walk and release the tension. Scream out into the open air. Take a nap. Eat a snack. When you practice naming your emotions physically, you deepen your relationship with yourself. You stop intellectualizing and start emotionalizing. There's nothing wrong with intellectualizing, but you got to be the bridge there. So the next time you feel angry, don't just stop at that word. Go deeper. Feel it. Name it. And listen to what your body is telling you. Because peace, another sensation word, is on the other side of that. Now, speaking of peace, it's not just the heavy emotions that deserve your attention. Empowering emotions like happiness, peace, and joy also live in the body. And just like anger, sadness, and fear, these emotions have physical sensations that you can connect with and amplify. Naming them helps you fully experience them, anchoring those feelings in your body instead of letting them drift away unnoticed. Let's take happiness, for example. What does happiness feel like in your body? Happiness might feel like ease in your chest or your stomach, a sense of comfort and relaxation in your muscles, clarity in your mind, free from heaviness or fog, calm energy flowing through your body, a light relief or a warmth in your shoulders and your jaw. The next time you feel happy, take a moment and pause and ask yourself, where am I feeling this in my body? Does it feel light, warm, expansive? How can I hold on to this feeling for a little longer? For instance, if happiness feels like relaxation in your shoulders or warmth in your chest, take a deep breath and focus on those sensations. By grounding yourself in the physical feeling of happiness, you extend its presence and make it easier to recognize the next time that it shows up in your body. Just as you need to name and process heavier emotions like anger or sadness, you also need to name and celebrate the empowering emotions like happiness and peace. Emotions exist on a spectrum, and healing comes from training your survival mind to navigate all of them, whether they're heavy or light, challenging or uplifting. So, When happiness shows up, let it land. Feel it, name it, and remember that it's just as valid and as meaningful as any other emotion you experience. When you start using physical words to express your emotions, the people around you start feeling safer doing the same. Emotional vulnerability creates a ripple effect, breaking down barriers and building deeper connections. Sharing your truth doesn't mean oversharing or dumping your emotions onto others. It means being honest about what you're feeling right now and inviting others to do the same. Vulnerability is a strength. When you share your truth, you model a new way of being for other people around you. You show that it's possible to feel deeply, express openly, and still keep your dignity and pride. The next time a friend or someone asks how you're doing, challenge yourself to go beyond, "I'm good." Try saying, "Honestly, I've been struggling with," insert your issue, "but I'm working through it." And allow the conversation to shift and deepen when you bring authenticity to the table. It reduces the guilt, the shame, and the defeat. You are reclaiming how you use your words and being more intentional and recognizing when you're falling back into old patterns of silence and choosing in the moment to speak instead. This is also how you master paradoxical speaking, using your words to integrate rather than segregate points of view. Here's how to start. Number 1, practice journaling. Writing down your thoughts and feelings is a great way to reconnect with your words. Do it the old-fashioned way, pen to paper, for those of you who are able. And audio and video journaling is great as well. Start with a simple prompt like, "What am I feeling right now?" Or "What do I need today?" Number 2, have honest conversations. Pick one person you trust and commit to being more open and honest with them immediately. Don't reveal an issue and withhold the details. Withholding restarts the cycle of suppression. Start small. Share something that's been on your mind or express an emotion you've been holding back. And then number 3, use I statements. When discussing your emotions, focus on your experience rather than blaming others. For example, say, "I feel hurt because," instead of "you made me feel da 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 da." Paradoxical thinking is the key to your independence and your personal autonomy. The more you practice it, the more empowered you'll feel to face your emotions, build deeper connections, and navigate life with clarity and purpose. Try this exercise. I'm going to leave you with this one last exercise. Every night, before you go to bed, write down one emotion you felt during the day and why you felt it. And over time, you'll notice patterns that help you better understand and articulate your emotional landscape. To wrap this up, healing has nothing to do with erasing your past. It's about rewriting your present moment. An honest use of your words gives you the power to take what you've been through, name it, and transform it into something meaningful. The guilt, the shame, the anger, the addictions, and the confusion you felt are not your enemies. They're signals guiding you toward what needs your attention right now, not later. And by putting those feelings into words, you take the first step toward empowering yourself in that cycle, in that spiral. So start small. Name one emotion, share one truth, write one word, and watch how everything begins to shift. That's all for now. If you benefited from anything in this space, please let me know in the comments section. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you've unsubscribed before, please reconsider resubscribing. Like, share, and tell a friend. In the meantime and in between time, please be kind and gentle with yourself in this right now moment and in the right now moments to come.